Hello and welcome back to the Southern Bourbon and Whiskey Talk channel. This is Chris, and today we're going to do a review of a kind of hard to find rye whiskey, depending on where you live. And I know up until probably 12 months ago I could never find this bottle, and then at my on-base liquor store here at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base here in Dayton, Ohio, I found them, and a matter of fact, they're still there. And I've got a backup, as a matter of fact, so just in case they start to disappear. And that bottle is no other than Sazarac Company's, a part of Buffalo Trace Sazarac Rye. And as everybody pretty much so knows, a lot of the Buffalo Trace products, they just have a huge crowd following, so that adds to the supply and demand dilemma for us bourbon consumers, right? I mean, it's definitely a good thing that people are wanting bourbon products, and specifically Buffalo Trace. But a lot of their products, to be honest with you, are overhyped a lot of time. I know Sazerac used to be, at least what my perception is, and I think a lot of that hype has toned down now. And the Sazerac Rye is actually very good, and for the price. And I really do enjoy it. So it has the traditional rye characteristics, which we'll talk about when we get in, but it adds some extra elements to it. But some of the other Buffalo Trace products that are get a lot of overhype, if you would, definitely the regular Buffalo Trace. I can't find that stuff here. I got one bottle that's open. I've had a few pours out of it. I got it on base again. But as far as out in the community liquor stores, I haven't seen it. And then you have like the Weller line. I have 2 bottles of the Weller Special Reserve. It's a good pour, overhyped for sure. And a lot of people are just paying crazy money for these Weller products. E.H. Taylor, same thing. Blanton's is probably the most overhyped of the Buffalo Trace line. People will pay upwards of $200-300 for a bottle of regular Blanton's, and even the E.H. Taylor, and I'm not sure why. I mean, they're good pours, but they're not that. So, but before we get started, again, thank you for coming out and viewing my content as we try to share information along everybody's bourbon journey, their search for good bourbon, and different kind of content that I want to do, and everything. My returning viewers, I'm especially grateful to you. I really appreciate you. My returning subscribers, I appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and take time. It just takes you a second to hit that subscribe button, and then ring that alert bell, so that way you don't miss any of my great content out there, right? And then the other thing, if you could just take a second to like, if you like my video today on Sazerac, just hit the thumbs up, and even comment, what your experience has been with Sazerac. Do you enjoy it? Do you think it's mediocre? And where you live at, is it hard to find and everything? So, all right, so let's get into this. It's already an open bottle, so I've already poured it into my infinity bottle. All right, so Sazarac Rye, just a little bit about it. It's a 90 proof. And let's see here again, it's a Buffalo Trace product. On the back of it, it says, "This rye whiskey is the perfect choice to make the Sazerac cocktail." There's I've had a Sazerac cocktail at a bar one time. Other than Sazarac Rye, I couldn't tell you what's in it. So I may do some research on it at some point, and if I can get my hands on the ingredients, make one of those for the channel and everything. So, but it is a 90 proof rye. It's a really solid product, and I think I paid $28 for it. So, which is what MSRP is. And I'm sure there's people out there, because it's Buffalo Trace, they're paying probably double that. I would not do that at all. You know, at upwards of $60, to me, it's a don't buy, because there's other ryes out there that are in anywhere from $25 to $50 range that you can get your hands on. But for anywhere from $28 to $35 or so, this is a solid pour. So, all right, so let's get into it and give it a swirl. Okay, so the color on it, it's kind of a light toffee color and everything. And I don't have information on what the age is on this product. Buffalo Trace it's kind of secretive on a lot of their stuff and everything, what the age is on this stuff. So if anybody has any intel, put it in the comments and everything. I'd like to see that. So yeah, you definitely get some of the characteristic rye. You get like the peppery, but it's like a white pepper, so it's not real strong. You get some herbal on there, you know, like tea, like green tea. And then like definitely some traditional whiskey on there. Some sweetness. So, but it's pleasant. Not a strong nose on it by no means, but it's definitely pleasant. So, cheers, friends. All right. So, not a lot of alcohol in there. Not a lot of oak. But I definitely get some very light, like sweetness, like honey. Definitely get like the green tea on there. I get licorice, which is something I don't get off of any other rye that I've ever had. So I get some like that licorice, and I'm not a licorice fan, but it works very well with this and everything. So okay, as far as the finish, it's it's not a long finish on there by no means. Not a big Kentucky hug. I mean, 90 proof, you don't really expect that. The mouthfeel, you know, it's a little silky, if you would. It's not a strong coater of the mouth and everything, you know. But it's really solid for the price. And in my last video I did for bourbons, whiskeys, where you can buy for, you know, inexpensive. And, you know, rye whiskey was one of my categories that I had just to start. Even if you don't like ryes, it's good. $28, it's a buy to me. At $60, if it's double the price on, you know, you're finding it at some of these liquor stores that are taking advantage of people. That's a leave on the shelf right there at $60. But at the $28 to $35. It's a solid rye. You know, it's what I'd like to call a good introductory rye, because it doesn't have a lot of the strong normal rye characteristics. It's definitely there, but like in the last video I did, Bullet 95 rye, a lot of rye characteristics in there. I mean, it's a 95% rye, man. There was citrus on that thing. There was pepper, like orange peel. It was just popping and everything. So, but, you know, for the new rye drinker, if you're looking to ease into a rye, and if you can find it, that's the key. This is a good one to start off with, the Sazarac Rye. And, you know, even in my last video, I talked about a good category for starting a collection is mixers as well. Again, the world famous Sazerac Rye drink, and I'm going to do some research on it to see what's in it. I mean, this can be a mixer to mix a lot of whiskey drinks. You know, you can make an old fashioned out of it. I mean, there's just a lot of stuff you can do. You can take almost any inexpensive whiskey or bourbon and turn it into a mixer. You know, I'm not going to go and take you know, one of my good bottles that I have, you know, like one of my nice Maker's Mark private selections or my Bakers, and turn that into a mixer. No, but this would do a solid job. But normally for a mixer, I recommend something that'll stand up to dilution. You know, 90 proof, it's all right. But when you get into 100 proof and a little more, that's going to stand up a lot better to dilution, to ice, to mixing, and all that. But this is a solid, tasty rye. Not traditional rye characteristics. There's some there, but it's not strong. So there's a lot more sweet presence and everything. You know, definitely the honey that's there. So not a lot of citrus to me on this. So. Well, all right, my friends, that's it for today's content. Again, thank you for coming out and viewing my channel and taking time to watch this video to learn about Sazerac Rye. If you're a first-time viewer, subscribe, ring that alert bell, comment what your experiences are with Sazerac. Can you find it and everything? So. Also comment on things you might want to see as far as content on the channel. I'd really like to hear from you. So until next time, my friends, cheers to everyone and good health.